3, 2, 1. Countdown. Hi everyone out there, and of course in the room. My name is Roxanne, and I am a channel for about 4 years now. Started my little business called Odyssey of Ascension. Been doing this, YouTubing, a couple private things, some sessions, some classes, and to discover what Ascension is about and what this whole awake thing is, and it's extraordinary, truly. And it's going to be a good time. So we're going to channel tonight for you. I'm going to bring in whoever's going to come in, and then we can do a Q&A. There can do requests. I don't care who it is, what it is. If it's in this room right now with you, you can channel it. I'll channel it for you. I don't care who it is. But I would give you this idea offering. It's never a must, never a deal. Don't expect. And you're going to have a real good time. Yeah. Everyone ready then? All right, let's go. And greetings to you all. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective of Fire. What is a collective? Truly an idea, a group of people hanging out, having a good time. You all in this room today is a collective, are you not? Is there truly differentiations between you and another person that's not present in the room because they call themselves the Seth Collective or the Fire Collective or the Abraham Collective? Isn't that not divisional? Aren't you tired of your own barriers you deploy every day in self-servicing ideas of separation? To understand yourself is to be truth. To you. I don't care what anyone says. You need no more guidance. You've been at this for 17 billion years. The idea of billions and billions of Earths, the species birthing itself a million different ways in a million different times, collapsing and dying into non-existence a million different ways in a million different times. And you guys now are in the meat and potatoes, in the trenches, right now, ascending a species, as you have always done. But it doesn't become more or less important because it is noticed. Do you understand? See, it was noticeability in the idea of the Christian movement. It was noticeability in the idea of the Pharisees. It was noticeability in the idea of Confucianism and Zennism as the truth of all truths to be sought after and become that. And anyone who is not equal shall be perish under my thumb. You have an angry God killing everybody right now. But that's the representation of choice. What choice? Truth. To who? To the one that speaks loudest and has the strongest army today. But you need not pay attention to the divisional ideas. See, you're your own God. I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea here, and maybe you can take this to heart, and maybe you can chalk it up to bullshit. I don't care. But here's the truth. You don't need anybody anymore. You don't need anybody anymore. Your guides are not brilliant over you. Your ascending angels, your spirit animals are what? Permission slips? Bridges? Reference points? Because why? Because you were taught, coveted, C-O-V-E-T, coveted what? My unworthiness. They struck you down in an idea of a perilous piece of shit coming to earth out of some guy who committed a sin a billion frickin' years ago that no one can really remember when. And you guys have to perish every day for that. And earn your way back to God. Excuse me, newsflash. You were created as an individual singularity chosen by God, the whole God, that is you, that is existence in and of itself. So who in this room now believes, and out there in fairyland, now believes this truth, that you have to earn your way back to God, when is what you are. You have an entity out there represented by the messenger civilization of Asasani, Bashar, who taught you the first law of this idea universe. You exist. Existence in and of itself is the equum of one. There is no earning your way back to your God. Because you are your God. There is not enough you can ever do. You can't pay enough homage. You can't do enough good deeds. You can't pay it forward because it doesn't do anything except experience itself in the now. So in other words, your intent of ascension is your experience of what you are in the moment. Time is created in the moment. Memory is created in the moment. Everything is now. You're here to understand through your blindness, chosen to be a forgotten singularity, journeying into the unknown of separation. Chose that idea to remember. And you can only see what you believe. You vibrationally cannot see something that does not equal to the idea of your frequency of awareness. Why do you guys think you see this room? Do you think the room is solid? You think it's actually here in the physicality? Your scientists have already proved the idea of that's not real. That's the senses telling you there's noise, feedback, resistance, gravity. It's the holodeck you live on. See, this is what you're starting to understand, that you are the creator of this world. Your world. Given freely by an individual choice. You have been chosen to exist. That in and of itself, you are blessed. There is no paying that back. Nothing you would ever do would ever lose or gain. You are already all that is. But what are you doing then? I will tell you. Living life. Right now, all you're doing is experiencing. But the filtered eyes that you understand yourself to be through the coveting systems of your culture, your beliefs, your authorities, all of your one man's trash is another man's treasure ideas, all these different beliefs around you every day has shown you that you can choose your own idea of your freedom, your truth, your individual understanding that this is my journey. That the politics, the wars, the hate crimes, all the terrible things, the fires, and all that stuff has nothing to do with you in the here and the now. But your mind and your eyes are distracted to the purpose, to the polarity measurement that you coveted. And that's just part of the ride. It's just going down an idea of a corner, down a hill, up to a new chain hill, and going down a new part of the roller coaster. That's it. You're experiencing. Because that's what we do. We explore the unknowable. The constant known becoming unknown, becoming known, becoming unknown, every single fathomable now, forever. And that's what we're doing. We would like you to know that you can relax today. That you don't have an idea of an outcome that's going to be graded, measured, except the one that you create as your truth. There it is again, isn't it? Who validates you? Only you. You are the naysayer of your reality. You are the acceptance of your reality. Everything around you is potential. Everything that you see in divisionary ideas are never a must, a need, a want, a have to. They are potential, given by whom? Reflecting the idea, echoing the idea of the Oversoul Collective, Ra. Your potentiator gives you that. The whole of you. For what? Not purpose. Not to learn a lesson. You're not here to become something. You're here to experience the unknown. How else better do you get it if you don't know your God? Every other idea, every other species, all of them, every single iota of information that you can possibly fathom is connected. You, all of you, have been connected to the whole, knowingly, willingly, being the idea of co-creation for a billion frickin' years, and then when one idea fell swoop, you came into a now and forgot you were connected. Everyone else is. Tell me how beautiful that is now. To see the gift you've given yourself. Not bestowed upon you. not levied, not, let's say, asked by another, not petitioned. Choice. To realize that you can live in an idea of blindness for an individual singularity experience unique to your eyes. God creating itself again. Experiencing itself as God, you. The all are one, one are all. Don't forget that law, right? So you're starting to maybe loosen up the grips of the belief systems that held you in place during time. Time, the congruency, gives you continuity, gives you comfort, gives you relaxation, it gives you hope, it gives you safety and security, it gives you remembrance, it gives you your Linus blanket so you can feel good at night. These truths that you surround yourself with, you fall back on them on a daily basis. Well, at least I have this. These are dependencies. The dependencies that you put your truths into become also the ailments of your idea misery. The things that you need and have to have. Or this is going to happen. What are the ors? The distractions of humanity. Much like spirituality has become a distraction. You don't need to be a spiritualist to be awake. You don't need to be a spiritualist to ascend. You don't need to be asleep. You don't need to be anything. A Buddhist, a Taoism, a pagan. These are experiences. Understand you are the neutrality of the isness of the now, which stands still as I am potential. And then you go into it for your fulfillment of what? What it is in the moment, translated by you. Your gift. So you can loosen the bindings of your purpose here. What's your highest excitement? I am my highest excitement. I cannot put it into an idea of a container and wrap it up and put it on the shelf. I am excitement. I am passion in the moment. The actions are the details. Those are the afterthoughts of the vibration. The idea of Abraham speaks of vibration daily. It's your relationship to reality. Your Seth 101. How you feel about something is how you are in that moment to reality is. Sylvester, accept reality is, because there's not a damn thing you can do about it. It already is. Oh, you can most certainly leave. You can change. You can bitch at reality. But it's there. When you start accepting it, maybe then the blinders will cease to be validated by your focus. Energy follows awareness, Abraham 101. You put your energy into an idea of a divisional self. What do you get? Appetites of divisional ideas, of mockery from the idea of the self-contained. And then, of course, what do? You only sustain the vibration of your current now, extending you in what you call time as an idea of the same. Repetition. This is what you are to yourself as an experience. It is not judged or judgmental. It is a forgotten God journeying in an unknown land with no idea that it is God. Until the reference points become so beautiful that it must choose its own truth. And awakening, one has awoken. And the light is now born. And then others awake. And then others, and then others, and then others. Please enter. Come in. So when that idea, you feel your idea becoming this new feeling. And it's scary and it's uncomfortable and you're not sure. So you go out and you read and you read and you research and you grab and you hold. And the whole species gets here today, now. But now, do you want to stop and hang on to the ladder for how long? Or do you want to release your truths and allow a new truth to come in? That I am my truth. Again, you're not earning your way back to God. There's no grand show at the end of this game. There's no hoorah. There is, I'm God. And that supersedes anything you can imagine. I guarantee that. And when you start experiencing your own truth, you will have hindsight 2020. You'll have exposed divisional selves telling you to stop that. You're wrong. That's not right. You have the reflectum of the ones you are challenging your idea of relationship with through your truth. In other words, your friends, your relatives, the relationships to lovers, your co-workers. And you start being God, and they're going to look at you as you have three heads, because you're not the norm. And people are very uncomfortable when things aren't safe and secure, aren't they? They don't give a shit what's going on out there as long as they got their MTV. You will be a light bearer if you choose to be. And that is not for the faint of heart. You're going against the grindstone of humanity's algorithm currently that says there's an angry God and you better listen or he's going to send you to eternal hellfire and you're going to grind up there for eternity. Yay! So when God created this child, I'm not going to give you the memory of me, but if you don't find me, I'm going to torture you. Personally, I'm out. But see, that's the joy. See, I want you to really see that right now. I want you to stop and step back and put down your shades for a moment. And see the joy that you can do that. You can believe in that. All of this is coveting God's choosing a truth to experience. It is your truth to be that. You can. And no one can negate you that of your truth. And however you act upon it, feel about it, react to it, respond to it, is your validation of your experience in the now. And that can never be taken away, ever, because you are, I am. Starting to feel it now. Starting to feel a shift of remembrance, some kind of internal movement inside that says top sides is details of distraction. The kingdom of heaven lies within. I think I'll stick around here for a while and get used to it. Again, it's uncomfortable to be a God. People don't like it because you don't fit in. They want you to talk about the problems. They want you to talk about how much money you don't have. They want you to talk about your bills. If you have a whole bunch of money, then they want to talk to you about how you're going to make more money. How this might be an investment, might have some loss. They want to give you the distractions of polarity. What is it? That's the validation of what is truth. By what? Comfort in numbers. Humanity. The current algorithm. History always shows you how history has changed itself. The commonalities of truth over time. Drill holes into people's head less than 100 years ago to let out the demons. Down in South America, every seventh child must be killed. Sacrificed to the angry God to keep away the plague. Do you understand? This is this century. This is this idea now. These occurrences are still happening. These are belief systems that are validated by the individual and is their truth. Is it archaic to you? Or is it harmony? Is it creation just being through a God has no idea that it's God being its best self in the moment? Because that's its truth, and you have been the same. So where do your mistakes lie? In time? In judgment? Where do your wrongs lie? In validation of others? Their rule books? No. In your choice of your truth. There is no one truth. You're not finding a finish line. What you are doing is starting to create an idea and understand that your truth is always been your truth. So you can rip the shit out of yourself. You can smash yourself into a pulp. You can take your own authority and squash it down and give it up to the world, as most of you have. You can take it back with your own isness and fear and scariness. You can do whatever you want to do. Why? Because that's creation unlimited. Let me say that again. that is creation unlimited. Now I want you all to use your little logical minds here for a moment. I want you to imagine something called a standard. Something that is a truth that sits out there in time as a truth, and it can never be bent. It can never be opted. So that is a limitation. Because each and every one of you have different truths about everything right now. So can you imagine if one truth was a standard? That standard becomes a limitation because it is a standard in and of itself. Anything in and of itself as a standard must collapse upon itself. Guess where we be, everybody? Non-existence. Because creation would have collapsed upon itself because it cannot expand any further. So you must understand yourself as something different tonight. That of unlimited, unbounded, untethered, uncaged. The will that I am. I can speak my truth, and I will take my measurements of failure to myself, and I will understand my own truth to that I have been the judger and the seeker of my own demise. Me! And I will take that in my heart. I will accept I am my own enemy. I will accept that they taught me to be less than. And I shall no more perish in my own light, for I am God. You can. Because it's who you are. Down here in this vibration of third density, you're collapsed to the slowest idea of fathomable ionic light that you can imagine. But it's not slow as a measurement, high or low. It's an experience. It's what you are now. To give yourself all, the whole, your eyes. The way you bend it is your persona. The purses you buy, the clothes you wear, the hairstyles, the particularities of your idiosyncrasy persona. The food you eat and demand and command on others. The coffee you drink or the tea. That's God, guys. Everything else is measured. When your validated truth was love and fear and everything in between, and you only knew that, then what do? You do as you learned. You do as you were. This is my truth. And through the references of the ascending idea species, the channels that are out there everywhere, give an ideas of new light, new truths to hold on to, have led you to this tonight, today, now. You chose here to say, I am my truth. I need no books. I need no histories. I need no time. I need nothing. For I am all that is. And there's nothing better than that. I can tell you that. But then again, I am the experience and you are the theory. Choose your heart. Choose your honesty. Become the experience of the now. Instead of the dirty diaper of hesitation, contemplation, and theory based on other people's limitations to validate your truths. Explore this heart that does not remember, but through its own isness and will of I deserve, I am my own worthiness. Then I shall find my truths, and I shall shed those blinders that I believe were my truths. I shall not regret the new self that I am, birthed from the old self of choice. For without that self, how am I realized? Become the truth, the honesty of the self. And don't ask the question, how do I know what's my truth? You just choose, and you will know. Because the discernment of the heart cannot be negated, and it will tell you the truth. And this conscious mind that runs around separated, not knowing its God, having the fathomable idea on the outskirt that there's a possibility it is part of the whole, will know the truth. Because the trick here, guys, you've never been separated. You've only created an illusion around your eyes that you were separated. But the separation in and of itself is a vibration. Just like the relationship with a cup of coffee. It's a vibration, it's an experience. And once you understand it from the idea of the experience, it becomes remembered, wisdom sets in, and you become you. The forgotten you. Bigger than you can imagine. Billions of lives that you are conducting, composing, to the multidimensional self you are, in a billion different galaxies, and knowing each and every one in the same fashion you know this I am that you are right now. Always. We shall bring another speaker. This is Ocyphius. We bid you a good day. Adonai. Greetings to the class Sylvester. How is everybody?
Awesome.
Awesome. Do you like Big O?
Yes.
He's a badass. I love him. He has such vitality and vigor. What is he? He's an expression. How do you feel about it? However you choose. Does it matter? No. I know this is a little cold. Are you guys cold? Anyone cold? You guys all right? You okay? Karen, right?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
How's your mediumship?
Going well.
You doing a little bit more?
Yeah.
Feeling okay with it?
Feeling better.
Because it was a weird ground, right?
Right.
You ever have a first day at work?
Yes.
Oh yeah, scarier and shit.
Yeah.
A couple weeks later, you own the place, right? So you're going to get into that idea of mediumship and to find out it's a vibration. So you understand the idea of any kind of thing, okay? Anything is a vibration, okay? These are all vibrations. They're things, and when you go into it, you don't know it because you're a forgotten God. Now, I want you to pay attention to this little idea. If a Pleiadian goes into an unknown world, it's going to experience it as a Pleiadian. It's not going to experience as it knows it, because then there's no experience. Do you understand? But it knows it's connected. It's going to experience just like you guys experience in time. You're experiencing everything as a validation of yourself. But the difference is that your uniqueness is like, I don't know what the hell this is. And it's a little spooky, and you get this emotional scale of measurement that is built into the algorithm of humanity. So that's what you guys are starting to understand. So when you go into a new world, a new vibration, a thing, that thing is neutral. Now, what I mean about neutral, I don't mean empty. No. I don't mean neutral as there's nothing there. I mean, you need to look at that as neutral and not bring any of your measurements, your judgments, your past truths into it and mess it all up and deplete it. So you take this big idea, this huge vibration that comes into your reality, and you squash it down into a set of steak knives when it's a frickin' Cadillac. Okay? So, because you're afraid to let it be what it is, because it's unknown. So what do? You got to poke, you got to pry, you got to do all this stuff about it to make sure it's safe to fuck around with. So you go with your friend, you go with your family, you go with the research, and you find out, am I safe to do this? Well, of course you're safe. Why? Because it's your world. This is your... Okay, co-creation is the unum of one. Don't think that I'm here and Rita's there. This is one of us. And we're all these ideas, angles of ourselves, perspectives. We all have our individual singularity, isnesses. But we're in that moment. You can't be afraid of co-creation, guys. There's nothing scary. What is scary? What you were taught that's scary. What you were taught that was scary. But none of you have, you're still here, so nothing bad happened. All the diarrhea that you were taught would happen in time hasn't happened yet, but it might. You okay, darling? You need some water?
I gotta get some water.
You got some?
No, I'll find some.
I didn't bring any water. You got any water? Yeah. There's a machine over there, right? So, what I'm talking about in the vibration is that neutrality idea of vibration. This thing sits here. Can I use you? Come here. This is Damien. He's a friend. He let Roxie stay in his house. Okay? He's a vibration. You look at him, and then you're starting to measure him. Okay? He's got sleeves, got a little tat, got a little hair. Okay? But what he is a uniqueness unexplored. He's not this. He's this to you. And you're taking your filters and making that whatever you think, containing it to the idea of what you perceive, and then you're starting to measure against your experience and say, oh, that's what that is. That's not what that is. That's the history you say that is. And Damien is anything in your reality. Anything. It could be a cup of soup. It could be a slice of cheese. Okay? It can be a human. It can be a dog. Your relationship with that becomes your reality. Thank you. Have a seat. With a leg tap there? Yeah. What's that? So, when we say neutral, we want you to look at reality as not being anything. We want you to blank yourself out about it and then go into it untethered and let it speak to you. It's going to give you beyond what you can comprehend. But if your mind is seeking, what is this, what is this, what is it? That doesn't fit. Throw that out, throw that out, throw that out. And then you get nothing except the status quo because you're afraid to become the idea of the moment. And the moment will lead you to ideas unfathomable to your imagination because your imagination is contained in the own worthiness field. You cannot go beyond your worthiness of what you believe is that you deserve. Because you're contained in that framework. That's Seth 101. Framework A. Moving to framework B. Allow yourself to experience beyond yourself. And you must get the idea of relationship with the vibrations that sit outside of you, outside of your acceptable framework for an experience. And how you feel about it will become the contained reality once again. If you allow it and accept it as is, then you get the whole kit and caboodle. You get to experience Damien and all of his facets. All of his vibrations. I don't care if he has different political views or different research views or different things or rights and wrongs, and he speaks it with such vitality and vigor. It's still an idea for you to experience. It doesn't mean anything. And that kicks humanity in the ass because you want everything to be something. You want it to mean something. My life has to be worth something. I have to have something in my life. Well, you have you. You have life. You get to sleep in. You get to do dishes, you get to do the lawn, you get to do gardening, you get to grow your nails, you get to buy things, you get to wear fun corduroy pants from the 70s. Roxie's so happy she found them. Cool. You get to do this life. But the uniqueness is you don't know. But you chose everything. You chose everything in your reality as a part of co-creation. Now, I'm not talking about everyone getting all confused about the idea of the mirror. I didn't choose that. Why is that here? Well, because this conscient mind doesn't choose. It chooses out of lack. It chooses out of hope. It chooses out of fear. It chooses out of escapism. I'm talking allowance. The choice has already been made. You guys already chose today. You're just catching up in time. You're getting used to it. You're getting to see what it is to be God. The experience of it. And you can chalk this all up to crap. For God's sake, if it's your truth, please do. Chalk it any way you want, so at least you get used to not depending on everyone else to tell you your truth, because you have to know that you can choose. And when you do, what happens? Freedom. Freedom. Walk, talk, be, sleep, anything as you choose. You guys may think that your freedom is contained in an ideology that sits in a TV box underneath a guise of a flag. You okay, Donna?
I'm good.
You good? Okay. Freedom lies within borders that are defended. That's not freedom. Freedom is an ideology, a relationship to. Freedom is what you are. To understand that freedom, you must start choosing your validation, your truth. Ocyphius nailed it. When you start to take yourself worthiness, you start to take yourself happily, playfully, joyfully, not serious. Don't take yourself serious. Don't try to make this something, because all of that contextual idea of accountability, responsibility, reasonality, everything from that idea of what you were taught, then that becomes your life, and you have been really good at it. Think about your life. Look at what you're trying to do. You're always trying to become tomorrow. You're always trying to do better. You're always trying to improve what they taught you. But before they took you away and taught you to be clinical and cynical, you played. Go play again. Throw caution to the wind. Roxie, through the Sylvester classes and such, have told how many people to walk out on their jobs, just leave everything behind and go enjoy. And they have. Marriages have occurred. People have found freedoms all over the place. Because you got to remember something. If you guys have been studying the idea of Abraham and have a relationship with Abraham and awakening, then you must understand vibration. If vibration is joyful, what do you get? Joyful. But not the joy that you perceive joy to be. The relationship to the vibration that shows you joy is. So if you choose your joy, you must get the equal vibration. This reality can no longer match your reality because you have not chosen the misery today. So this reality and everything that encompasses that frequency level of what you call misery can no longer be in the joy because you chose the joy, even though the joy is quitting your job. Scarier than hell. But you feel good. You feel so good, you're like afraid of. But then, oh, what about tomorrow? What about next year? What about the bills? And you know, the spouse, it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're going to trust and let go. We're going to become poor. No, you're not. Anyone here interested in being poor? Then you won't be. Because that's your relationship with poor. If you're not interested in poor, it doesn't come. Because you're not validating, I might be poor. Do you get it now? Where you put your focus becomes your reality. If you're fighting and calling to yourself, I don't want to be poor, I don't want to be that, you're giving all the energy to being poor. Don't leave it alone and let it come. It needs to come in a way, though, of allowance. It needs to come in a way of natural timing. That's another Seth idea. He's such a, I love Seth. It's just rocked it. So, and by the way, you guys are all very good friends with Seth. He's not up here. He's right here. Okay? So, that relationship to reality, with how you feel about poor or money or abundance, in what idea of separation becomes the sustainable. But if you're not interested, it can't match your frequency. But if you're constantly saying, we can't afford this, that has to be cheaper, we have to save money, then that means you're doing that context. That's the vibration. Then you're going to get the realities around you that give you the same potential. It's not going to be there. It's the way you get to view it and that it's there. When reality comes, you're neutral again. That's why you can never run out of second chances. Because the nows are done and there's a new now. Nothing pulls over except what you pull over in memory. Because what's created in the now? Bashar 101? The memory is created in the now. So right now, it's 8:45, and we all remember getting here around 7. But we all could have just got here just this moment and gave ourselves a memory of being here 45 minutes. Because what's created in the now? The memory. So always know that. See, you can pull yourself and keep yourself consistent in the congruency of time and hopes and needs, or you can release that as a validation to see how time can really work for you. You want to relate to humanity as a God? Then stop relating to humanity as a human. And take the ideas that you validate as human needs, wants, must-dos. I can't talk that way to this person because they're this. That's human. That's a separation idea. I cannot not do this because this will happen. And that's human. Humans say I can't or cannot. I cannot, I'm not allowed, I have to. It pulls itself, the idea of obligation, responsibility. When you do that, you validate that idea and you continue it. You release it, what happens? A new vibration has to come in because there is no vacuum. There's only fulfilling of the nows with possibilities of what? Of what? Of what? Potential. The potential is the unlimited choice of what you have available to you and now according to your guys, your own conscious self-mind of what is possible. And as you choose the unknowable more and more, scary as it is, painful as it is, because you're like, God, I don't want to do that. But you do, yes you do. And you choose not to do your pain anymore. Then the journey becomes painful. Because you're so scared to let go of everything that kept you, you. And you're losing you to become you. So when you start doing that, that vibration can't be this consistent same. It can't. Because it's the law. Take the law and replace reality. and make them interchangeable. We said this the other day in Roxie's channeling. The law is your reality. It's not the law of attraction. You attract. Why did I attract this bad thing in my life? It's not bad. It's a harmonistic idea of co-creation, and you're looking at it with tethered eyes. You. But don't get mad at you for looking at it that way, because that's what you believe. You forgot. Please remember that you forgot. Don't kick yourself in the ass all the time. Don't get mad at the thoughts you have. Those are creation. These are God's thoughts. Right here. It's whether you choose to validate them. And that relationship with the harmonics of your emotional system that you find and created individually as valid become your experience. Memories. When you start releasing a self, I don't want to go to work. But you got to go to work. I fucking hate work. But you got to go to work. We got to pay the bills. Yeah, but I'm God. Maybe it'll work out. Bullshit. Come on, let's try it. And you guys have had that conversation with yourself. That's a self. And I want to show you this. I want you to imagine a round idea. Okay, a sphere, and you're this tiny little thing inside of it. So you're inside of the whole, but what you did here, guys, you gave yourself the ability to look back at yourself with separated eyes. So when I look at Karen here, or Tommy Jean, or Roxie's mom, I look at these people, and from the objective point of view, it means I am objectifying. I see these things as objects. I see them outside of me. That's what separation is. But I am subjective. These are my creations that I birthed in co-creation, because there's only one of us here. That is my subjective point of view to do with it as I choose. You're objectively defending or negating or validating whatever's around you according to your belief systems, your covenants. So you are separated from the you that you are. When you recognize a self of separation that commands a have-tos and a must and a needs and a wants, that validates that according to time and peer pressure and other people's, well, you can't say that to them because they might get upset. You can't say no to this because they're your authority. This might happen. Whenever it barks the idea of fears from the known, there's never fear in the unknown. Impossible. Whenever it screams and beckons at your conscience that you cannot choose your truth because of the fears, then you know that's your truth to choose. You know it's time to choose your heart and say, damn it, I'm going. I'm going to take a chance on myself. And I'm telling you, Roxie took the journey. Roxie left the house. She's staying with the parents. It was time for Roxie to go. Magically, within 3 weeks, she gets an apartment. She got the truck Dad gave her. She got a job. A month later, she quits her job. Parents flip out. I'm like, damn it, you're supposed to be this and that. But Roxie says, no, I'm gonna wake up here. I'm gonna start Odyssey of Ascension. $423 was her last paycheck. 2 weeks. It was her last paycheck. So she did that. She started out and she wasn't even channeling yet. But Roxy's a Sagittarius, so she doesn't give a shit. She lives on the edge. She's a fire. Let's go. So she's out on the edge and just does it. And after the guided meditation, she meets Rita here. She meets Wink, and she starts reading the Bashars and gets this such an appetite to know these things about ascension. And this idea of the job she had for the month, she's waking up as her mind, her translation of her experience. And then she chooses herself and says, you know what, I'm going to start out seeing, and quits the job. And all she was going to do was she's just talking to people. She went to a couple of Law of Attraction and just talked to people. She took the idea and she was telling people things that she didn't know she had in her, but she was just speaking her truth. It's like when she was in the car business, and she would train salesmen and take a room of 30 people and ignite the room together because she has such passion about what she believes in. So, same idea. She would just speak and just wrap the people in the moment together to be this idea of this expansion. And then she learned how to channel, and she left the house and then had nowhere to live after a year because she didn't get renewed the housing program, and then moved into a friend's house, and then moved back to another friend's house, moved back with the parents, moved back to a friend's house, and moved into their house, and then found Tommy Jean, fell in love, and moved in with him. Every moment Roxie had food, shelter, at the time when she was smoking cigarettes and coffee. That's what she validated. That's what she got. Because she's God. Because her vibration says, I'm worth this idea journey. Now, it was so scary because she had no money for the gas to get to anywhere. Magic would come. Things would just happen out of nowhere. People would call, hey, do you need something? Do you need this? Yes, I do. And God, she would melt her own heart, and she couldn't believe it's actually happening. And see, that's another thing I need to tell you. When you start seeing miracles, you need to do one thing for yourself. Accept them. Because if you're in the vibration of always getting miracles, not quite accepting because you're God, this is not a miracle that you deserve. It is, you are the miracle. Literally. When you start accepting that, it becomes the status quo of your life, and you start to become God remembered. Okay? Don't keep miracles on the outside. You get them, accept them, and keep going. Don't pay homage. Don't make an idea of some kind of, what do you call those things? Worthiness things. Prayer thing. Homage. Pay. Oh, I got a miracle. Oh. Just accept it. And that's what it takes. Because it's scarier than hell to keep getting the awesomeness in your life. When Roxie, she can remember the first night she stayed at Jenny and Damien's house. And it's this 3,000 plus square foot house with marble and big TV and internet and everything is paid for, including the food, with a great frickin' cook. She's laying up there in a bed and it's unsnuggled up and she's like laughing. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm fucking here. She cried. She so cried that she was gifted this idea of being able to live there. And Roxie's always thinking, how do I repay them? How do I repay them? How do I repay them? You don't repay anybody. Because you're not worthless. See, you're an experience. How they experience you is up to them. Never discount yourself, ever. Because you are all that is. Unmeasured, untethered, undefinable, unknowable, all the time. That's how big and gorgeous and beautiful each and every one of you are. So you start taking that to heart and walk bravely through the idea of the land that you are in and be yourself. Speak your truth. Become the vibration relationship to your truth so you get to know the scary self that you don't want to know. You want to play in the game of ascension for 5, 6, 10 years and keep doing the ideas over and over again, but do you really want to know your God? That's a scary thing. Because everything you validated is gone. You can't bring your knowns of limitation through this. You can't go through that idea to the next unknown as an idea of limited. You got to go naked. You got to shed all selves of separation. Accept them. Don't get mad at them. Love them. Allow them because they were you. Now they are you in noticeability, acceptability. And when those eyes that look back at the self and negated it as separation now turn itself upon the idea of itself and go, I am that. I am that fear. I am scared to become God. I accept I'm scared to quit my job. I accept I am that fear. Bring it into the heart and it becomes unum with you. And you go around and collect all these little ideas of these separated selves and bring them into the whole of you, and you will remember. But it's not a goal, guys. It's not time-based. You guys can live another 300 years today. None of you need to die anymore. That's an option. Out of bounds? Who says? Only you. Only you. Nothing is truth right now. Everything that you think is your truth is a memory. Do you want to know the truth? Look around. Here it is. This is your now. This is your truth. Be this, and it'll show you everything. You good? You need a stretch? How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you. So, we've been on this rhythm to go through these ideas, these stages of references and experiences, and to release them and let them go. And you need the idea of the one that doesn't hold on to comfort and truth to be the idea of truth and valid in the moment. All truths are truth now. Whatever's not your truth, release. And it's scary to release. And it's your relationship with that vibration that creates your reality. You let it go, you're naked. You have no footholds. You have no grappling hooks. You have no anchor, so you don't want them. Why do you want to stay where you are? You are already here. There's no moving from where you are. Second law. Everything is here and now. You're here. You're not going anywhere. You're just leaving the dependencies that keep you tethered in the same frequency. You allow vibration to come in, and there's no vacuum, as we said, and you'll fill yourself with opportunities. Does the brave want to think about its opportunities and create them out of the lack of the past, or does the brave want to be the idea of the unknowable and choose what is the heart in the moment that says, let's do this, no matter what it is? I don't care what it is. I don't care. There is no limitation. There's no rule book. There's no judgment on truths. It's yours, and that is so much freedom for you. There's so much freedom for you. It's too much authority. It's too good that I don't need anyone to choose my truth. No, you don't. Because you're the truth of you. You're the truth of me. God is this experience. God is not a mighty guy screaming up there with a thunderbolt killing his children. God is the experience that you can believe that is a God up there separating itself from its own children to kill them because of their duties. That's what you get to do. That's God. You can do that. That's the freedom of this idea experience, to have what you choose as an experience, and you've been doing it and you will do it forever. Brilliant what we are. When you're down here in this idea of Roxie's idea and the co-creation of this vibration, it's every time we get to experience what we see it as. It's so new every time, so beautiful, so outstandingly rich what you guys have chosen for yourself. I know a lot of you guys think a lot of shit sucks. We understand. But that's your relationship, and that's what's changing. So we've been at it for an hour. We're going to do some Q&A. Anyone need to pee? Look at the hands. Gotta go tinkle. We're going to take this pause. You want to pause for a minute? Okay, we're going to pause. I'll stay here. Hi. Go ahead and pause. Good. All right, we're back. All right, so we're going to do some Q&A requests or anything like that. You remember, this is your moment. Sorry, you good? A little wobbly there. A reality tilted, a little magnet. So, if you have something, ask. If you want someone, let us know. If not, we'll all go to Starbucks together, get a sandwich, some drinks, Coke and a smile. Go ahead, anybody. Oh, who wants to be the first? Is that it? Go ahead.
No.
You can. You don't know what to say?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How about Edgar Casey?
You want him?
Yeah, well, I want to know what he talked about a lot of things going wrong in 2018. I want to know if he's changed his mind on that or not.
Well, the Edgar you think you know is not that Edgar anymore.
Well,
That was a
right.
perspective.
That's right. That's why I want to know what's going on now.
With Edgar.
Yeah, did he change his mind or what?
He never had a mind to change.
Okay.
We'll give you an idea of that. Hang on.
Take your time.
Edgar, you around? Yep. A lot of voices in here, right? See, to understand yourselves and the mannerisms of a concept of history that you are negating and validating at the same time. You're negating my ideas of what I saw in the future. What I saw from the point of I am right now is what I could see, according to what my beliefs were. You guys are in a system of understanding yourselves in the plausible fashion of what you call your current truths. I did not know such mannerisms. I, as you are, were blind. See, do not measure me upon my idea status or my results of my speakings, because that will be your reality and interpretation of a measurement scale of what you call success and failure. It is neither nor, it is. The possibility of me going into my idea self found truths in me that gave the validation of humanity a possible, let's say, potential within themselves to understand a furtherment of what you call the potential of knowing you are connected. What I saw in the ideas of the futures are what my shades, that Roxanne says, was my truth. I saw what you call potential. Just because they haven't come true on your reality, I would say celebrate. Because I saw the potential of the realities that were there that my mind could see. Anything that you and all of you together have ever thought of is a reality to experience. Is there something in your world that is not real? Who validates reality? Who validates real? You must understand that you are the validation of your own reality, and my ideas of those predictions were the ideas that I saw as a potential truth according to my demised allowability of potential. In other words, that's all I could see. So what was I supposed to do? Not speak my truth? I had no such appetites to not speak my truth because I was such fascination with what I had found within the idea of lucid. Imagine if I did not speak my truth. Me and you don't get to talk. So thank me for speaking. Or we don't have this experience today. If you're after an idea of validation, validate it your own self. We are not here to validate or invalidate the probabilities of time in the idea of measurement, because we will only continue your own limitations in vibration and contextual choice. That is not my playground to play in, that is yours. I have superseded the playground in the idea of measurement, but truly what has happened, I just became. I have myself here once again. I have many of myselves scattered about the world, as well as you. You have many of yourselves running around as children and adults, experiencing the truths of that. The individual singularity you knew as Edgar is one of those perspectives. But you do not give the same validation to the Edgar that sits in San Quentin right now. Because the measurements of his actions don't degree in the idea of plausibility or applause according to the current space-time now standards of law. But the wisdom that lies within that San Quentin prison is the equal to me and my couch. I would like you to know this. It is a choice. Does this help, Iris? Seems not.
Yes.
Choice.
Somewhat.
Is there any other questions?
What about lucid dreaming? Sometimes I think dreaming is a better world than what I'm living in now.
That is a relationship to reality. You can choose that as a better world. But this world is equal to that world. It is only your belief systems that judge the world that you currently validate as reality.
Yes.
The dream world is the equal of reality as well. You just don't put enough moxie into the dream world because you believe this is all there is as reality. It's the relationship to reality. You believe in that. It's better than that means this here and now sucks. What does that do? It validates the vibration of suckethood.
But I can fly in that other world.
And you can fly here too, but you won't validate that. But why do you want to fly is maybe the relationship. So you can. I'm wondering what you can do that you won't explore here because you're so busy being over there.
Yeah.
You have a law, I believe, in your universe. I do not play in the Akashica evolutionary universe and such mannerisms of the whole of me and this idea, but we will fashion this. In your idea universe, you validate the here and the now. Why be there and then? This is your evolutionary universe. Embrace it instead of negating it. Negate it, separate, sustain it as what you have been. It can't get better if you keep validating it is not good, bad, better over there. That's vibration now. That's your vortex relationship to reality, hence your reality and idea of translation. Following?
Okay.
Anything else?
Not at this moment.
Is there any
Somebody else
request?
a chance.
Say that again?
I'll give somebody else a chance.
Oh, would someone like a chance?
Take it.
Just a question for Sly.
Go ahead, doll.
Expectation is a lack.
Yes. Expectancy you can have. It's a permission slip. I expect the sun to be there tomorrow. You can do that. I can have expectancy that things are going to work out. But don't define them. Because as soon as you define them, you contain them to the ideology of what you believe the expectation can be. Okay, so I got this idea, okay? I want to live in a house that doesn't have a leaky roof, okay? If I expect I get a house and that house doesn't have a leaky roof, then I only get that house that doesn't have a leaky roof. But if I expect nothing about the house not having a leaky roof, then I can get 40 mansions in my lifetime. Because neither one of those will have a leaky house. A leaky roof, rather. Do you get that?
Not quite.
It's a little obscure. But it offers, don't expect it to be one house, right? You're looking for a house that doesn't have a leaky roof. Why not get 1,000 houses in a lifetime? And none of them will ever have a leaky roof. Make sense? So don't expect the idea of anything about the house or it's going to have or not have a leaky roof. Trust it. And you'll get a million different realities. Are you following?
No,
A little bit better? Because if I have a dream, okay? Let's stay with houses. Houses are fun. So I picture this idea of a house, and I'm wondering how I'm going to get the house. So if I get logical and I expect this is how the house I need to get, because I validate, I got to have a down payment maybe. I got to have a job for income, so I can prove my income, so the mortgage can accept it, the idea of paper, and I can get bought, so I can have a house and pay it. Okay, so that's the process of expectations. Or I can go, oh yeah, I inherited a house. I forgot all about it. The keys are right here. And the address. Can that happen? Yes! So you know a house is coming, then leave it alone. Don't do a damn thing about it. Bouchard said it one side there. Do everything you can. Everything you can to believe and walk through and be rich with the house and then collapse it and walk away from it and get away from it. You got to trust that. Where did that house come from? It didn't come from this mind. This mind is made of memories. This is a receptor. It came from the whole of you, the conceiver. So guess what? If you have a house of a thought of a house, your whole self already knows. You don't need to tell them, hey, I'd like a house. Oh, okay. Because you are that thought, right? So the house is going to come, and it comes in a magical way. One thing leads to another, leads to another. People do this and people do that. Roxie has a million miracles in her life since she started this journey because she got out of her way. You know Rebecca and Grisa in class. In the idea of Sylvester's class, we got this class that I started, we have all these professors that come in, we call them professors and teachers and different channels that come in from different civilizations, and we just get together and we just rock the world, okay? And these students that have come in, we have one guy named Grizes from Poland, and in class he fell in love with Rebecca over the internet. And he flew, emptied his bank account, and flew over for the wedding of two other students, one from England and one from Ohio. They got married, and it's on the YouTube channeling. It's Sylvester Meets in San Antonio. When that class got together, they were there for the wedding of two that met, and Griza and Rebecca met in the flesh for the first time, and they stayed together for 3 months, and then she moved to Poland. And she's living a life. It's not a purpose. See, she got to do that because she took a chance on herself and not to expect what was going to happen with her life, and started to be the life and let the life bring a magical moment of absolutely unbelievable, then tethered expectations on this is how my life is supposed to be, because you guys aren't very fucking good at it. You ain't happy. If you're happy, you ain't here. This is freedom allowed. This is freedom aware. So expectations diminishes because you can't think big enough. You can't. How can you ever leave yourself a house on a timeline? You know Mark in class left him a check for how much? $30,000? From a job he never remembered he retired from. He goes, holy shit, I retired from a job? What are you talking about? And he gets a check for 30 grand. Well, he never worked the job. Why? Because he didn't. Because he created the memory in the moment. Because that was the moment that he called. Because he got out of his way and said, okay, I give in. I'm not smart enough to be this idea of a controller of a reality of separation. I'm going to stop. And he did. And he finds selves and he screams and hollers and gets mad and finds and cherishes his rich life and becomes a god. Like we all are. By the way, everyone goes home, relax. You're forever. Okay. So expectations can only allow the reality to be at the vibration of equal to what you expect your worthiness to allow. If you can't have this big of a house, you never get it. See, it's real easy for someone to give you $10. A little bit more uncomfortable if someone give you $100. You're like, whoa, cool. Someone gives you $1,000, you're like, fuck. Someone gives you 10 grand, you go, oh, there's no way! Why not? Because that's your deserving level. That's what you're allowed your worthiness to accept as the reality. Because if you take $1,000 from a person, my God, you got to pay them back. No, well, they're God. They're unexpected, unmeasurable, unconditioned God being what they are in the moment. Accept the beauty of you. That's the co-creation. So if you expect anything, you diminish it. You allow it, and it's going to become unmeasurable to you. That is a promise. Get the hell out of your way.
How?
By trusting it in the moment and choosing only yourself. The how is getting in your way. Because there is no how. The how happens in time. Now is what it is. Choose what you do now. Right now you have nothing to worry about. There's nothing to think about. Right now you're here. This is what you need to get used to. Being in the moment. When you go home, how to become creative like that? It can't be done in time because that's theory and that's based off an idea of lack. Separation, ideology from a coveting system of someone separated bullshit they wrote in a rule book 10 million years ago, whatever. Okay? That's not your truth. Your truth is now I will understand myself in the moment as my truth. So when you want to understand to leave a self that says, Shagupta, you need to do this. And you go, no, I don't want to do this today. That's when you do it. That's the how. And there's also admittance and honesty. No one wants to be honest with themselves to go, God, I suck at this. Because you've always been taught to make yourself better. You lie, cheat, and steal to make your self-image feel good. Great, awesome, have fun with it. But you don't have to do it anymore. It's okay to be naked and vulnerable. Why do you think the funniest comedians are the ones who talk about themselves? Kevin Hart, right? Funny motherfucker. Because he talks about his life as, look at me, I am vulnerable and I am naked, and people want that because they are vulnerable and naked and they want them to self. It's okay to be this. I don't have to keep masking myself with some image and talk about my successes and my failures and my money and my kids and talk about all these things because I don't know how to love myself. Right? So you got to choose you to fall in love with you, to get to know you. That's how, in the now. Make sense? Good? That's awesome. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm awesome. I don't know how to not be awesome. Right? Yeah. Any other questions? Anybody? Requests? We're a full service channel. I'm telling you. We are. Go ahead, Roy. Good?
I understand what you're saying on
Okay.
the mental part of letting go.
Mm-hmm.
I say, I give up, I let go.
Right, but that's convincing.
Because that's right, because in the emotional part,
Yes.
I feel there's some stuckness.
Yes. But that cannot leave
Right.
until you experience the choice in the now. You got to have the vibrational experience of actually doing it. Name a fear. Anything.
Name of fear.
A fear of yours, not theirs, yours. Anything, anything at all that you could possibly know that you could never do, or you have to do, something like that. That you're afraid of. Anything.
I know what I've experienced and what
Okay,
it
tell
felt
us that.
like.
Let's start somewhere. We're going to journey together. Don't worry about where it's going to go. Don't expect.
I guess my journey with relationships.
Okay? So you have a tough time with relationships, failures, right?
Yes.
So do you know how to choose yourself instead of the image of yourself to make the relationship perfect? So the next time you're in a relationship, this is who I am.
Okay.
I don't need you to create me. I need to be me, and you get to do with me. If that's not the one, have a Coke and a smile. Next. You got 1 billion here. There's enough to go around. There is no one. It's whoever's the vibrational match in the moment. You get it? The moment may last a lifetime. 55 years with Roxie's mom and dad. That's the moment. But it's not set in time. But we put a conditions that it has to be someone spiritual, soulmate, twin flame, all this stuff. And then we drive ourselves to make it so, and then we're fucking miserable because this is not our joy. When you are in pain, that's you choosing pain. Let me give you a little clue here. Everyone is eternally blissfully happy. Everyone chooses to make themselves miserable. Misery is not built in. Misery is chosen. And misery loves company. So when the idea of you're in a relationship and you're expecting them. So here's your little ideology of a box. You're going to take that box and stick it on them and say, you need to stay in this little trust box. And if you don't, you betrayed me. As soon as they go out, you get mad at them. And you want them to contort and fit your box. What the hell are you, Hitler? Trying to make them fit your world because your lack doesn't say I'm enough as this? Make sense? So that's your relationship, and that's how you've been changing, and there's why some failures. But don't look at a relationship to be that. Be in love in the moment. If the love is hot sex, then go have some good sex. You know, fix a sandwich, go. Remember the sandwiches? Get the hell out. Right? Don't be afraid of that. Don't be an image. Stop being a mask. You know your truth in the moment. But what it is, it has to be experienced as a truth so you can feel the relationship with I am once again instead of the theory of it. No, I really can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that. Yes, you are. There's no rules here. No one's going to get bent. There's nobody judging. There's no fucking rule book, I can tell you that. There's nothing except what you make it because you are God. The ultimate truth is you choose your truth. How beautiful is that? You get having the truth that there is no truth or no ultimate truth. That's your truth. You can throw everything away and bring it all back and do whatever you want with it. That's what you get to do. But you need to do that, finally. And take the authority inside of you that has been diminished and say, you know what, I'm allowed to do this. And you will be wobbly, okay? You will have baby feet and a little bit scared and, wow, this is unknown territory. Yes. Why do you want to stay in the known? Because it's comfortable? Great. What do you think is going to change? Nothing, because that's your reality. People want change, but when change comes, oh, hell no. No. Can't have change. Change comes. You got to change yourself. You got to choose your vibration difference. The vibration that says, this is my heart. Now I'm choosing my truth. And then your vibration will change. It's the law. But if you keep changing what you know you don't want to do, how do you get change? You can't. It's the law. You keep choosing the pain. You know you don't want to do it, but I'm going to choose it. We call it the lesser of two evils, right? Here's my joy, okay? And my joy is going to work every day. Because it is a joy, that's why it's there. Because your passion creates reality. So you're passionate about going to work, although the conscious mind fucking hates it. It's like, God, I hate going to work. But you must do it because it's there. You must love it because it's there. This room is here because you love it. Your passion is to create this co-creation moment. That's everywhere in your life, guys. There's no diminishing of passion. None. Zero. Okay? So in that idea, your reality, okay? Your passion creates your reality. When you choose your pain, you're validating your pain. Okay? That's your evil. That's what we're going to call your lesser of two evils. Your greater evil is what you know you want to do, but you won't choose. Because the pain is too scary of the possibility of the outcome. That's the bigger evil that you guys don't choose. But see, it's not an evil. Because you've never experienced, so you don't know. And when you get out of this vibration, of this unworthiness, and you choose the joy, although it's laced, ribboned, outlaying on the moats around your castle with fears and all these monsters that you mask, by the way. You choose that vibration, and that's a different world. It has to be. Right? And then you're surrounded by your isness, finally. Oh, God, that felt good. And now you know, and you choose it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and then you never choose again. You won't be aware of your choices because there's nothing to choose when you're in the now. Make sense? So whatever was, leave it alone. Flush it, delete it, trash it. Get out of history, get out of the funk of rejection and the idea of regret. That's a nasty, nasty land of vibration. It's beautiful, it's harmony, but don't play there because it's a playground. It's a door you get to go through. Hey, look at me, I'm going to go to regret land. Have fun, I'll be over here and happy. Right? All right. Use the heart. Logic and intelligence, two different worlds. Intelligence is a wisdom that can't be negated, never needs to be justified, and doesn't need to be defended against, ever. Logic will always need defense. You want to justify your actions. You want to argue back. You want to say, well, God, you did this to me. Good. And you want to get mad at them because you did this. I told you you were supposed to. Well, who the hell are you to tell me what I'm going to do? That's only keeping the idea around, isn't it? Back and forth. Get even. Let it go. And walk away. God, it stings. The ego stings. It hurts. Because when you let go of a self that you realize, like, God, I don't want to do that to you. And you let go, you see the pain of it, of letting go. That relationship with that release is, God, that hurts. I want to tell him that, oh, God, and you don't. And that pain that you feel for not taking action. In other words, someone, road rage, we'll just take road rage. Someone cut you off, and you want to get them back so bad. Right? Or someone betrays you and you want to get them back so bad. It's like, God, you did, and you blame it. You get that anger because it's built in. It's what humanity taught you. They taught you in school. Grades, failure, success. They did wrong. They did right. Blah, 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 right? And that's what you believe. That's what you get. That's reality. So then you choose not to be that self. And it's scarier than hell. You want to understand what the pain is when you are afraid, the evil, that's my joy, but you're so afraid to because you got to do this. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to go to work. You're supposed to get back at him. You're supposed to get revenge. That pain you feel for not choosing that pain is the pain you're in. You're actually seeing the pain you're literally in because you guys are in pain right now because we're eternally bliss. You're validating a reality that's painful. You just grown accustomed to it. You've been mediocre all your life. You were happy at one time when you guys were playing until Mom called you in for dinner and you're like, oh, ready? Right? There was no time. There was nothing except the now. Then they taught you responsibility, measurements, clothes, how you looked, how you're supposed to dress, how you're supposed to act. You should have common sense. By the way, common sense is a co-creative moment of telepathy. That's common. That's all common sense is. Make sense? So you now start to become, wow, if I'm God and I don't need to get back to God and I'm God, I can choose my God and I don't know how to do that, but let me try it anyway and let's just see what happens. Get used to being God. You're already good at being this God. Your life has been just because you're God. Your life will be because you're God. There's no negating your God anymore. It's how you want to employ it now. Through an idea that has awareness. They'll sleep, leave them alone. Give them a bed. Give them a pillow, give them a night-night. Night-night, night-night. Let them sleep, leave them alone. If they wake up, they wake up. If they're not in peril, they're not going to die. They're just going to go, I'm over here. Right? So think of humanity. If they're asleep, let them be asleep. They come knocking on your door. Hey man, what do you got? Anybody got this? Here's what I got. But don't get up and preach and teach to anyone because they don't want to know that. Okay? They come to you, be the light. I gave a great, I really did, it was really awesome. The Lighthouse, the YouTube channel, the Sly Lighthouse. You guys are the lighthouse. Let them come. This is my truth. Do what you will. Okay? I own an apple orchard, right? And every morning I go and pick my apples. And I have a road at the end of my property. And I put the apples out in the baskets. And at the end of the day, I pick all the baskets up. I don't care if there's apples in it or not. That's my offering. Choose what you will to do with it. I have no relationship of need or want because I don't have any lack. So I don't give a shit what you think. Eat my apples or don't. Have fun. Make sense? Freedom. So good. What else? Yeah, we're almost time. Yes.
Oh, so we still got about 5 minutes. I always do this. I can manifest things.
Sure.
I'm like that Peter guy. I get out, I jump on the water, I start going towards the thing, but eventually reality sets in. If I keep on being God for a while, then somebody comes around. I think you might need Thorazine if you keep doing that. You know what I mean? And then another time, you get attacked.
Well, it's not attacked. You're perceiving it as attacked.
Well, exactly.
Because what it is you're going against the grain.
Okay, right.
That's what the light workers do. Remember the brave?
Yeah, how do you stop from not ending up in a cell?
You keep accepting. You're not going to end up in a cell. You've never been in a cell.
Right, thank God.
Oh, well, see, then you don't have to thank God. You never chose that. You won't chose to be in a cell because your truth is too much. People wanted to send Roxie away to a psychic ward and have her take medicines because she's this transgender idea that doesn't fit society. But you got transgenders all over the world now. They're in offices, they're in government, they're in politics. It's not an idea of a sin. It's not something scary. It's a choice to express God as is, right?
Yeah, but the
So,
first ones had to suffer.
Huh?
The first trans...
They never suffered. You say they suffered. Welcome to your world. You can never know anyone else's eyes. Don't command your arrogance. Just listen very closely. Don't command your arrogance that you actually know what someone else is feeling. Because everyone is their own individual subjective world. So they have experienced. They may have been suffering to them, but don't validate their suffering by you say they're suffering, because then you only consistently give the same vibration and contain humanity in the same vibrational field of operation. Let them be, guys. Everyone is their own journey. If it's not in your here and now, don't give a shit about it. Just go about your world and start creating light bearers. Look how free I am. Roxie scared her and shit in becoming the idea. Not a very passable girl at all at the beginning, and became more and more comfortable that, oh, that's right, she doesn't have to be a woman. She can be Roxanne. And that's what she is. She doesn't care if she's boy or girl and how everyone takes it. But before it was a thing, but now it's not a thing. It's just I am. This is the way you choose. You choose to express yourself the same way. The idea of what you're doing is becoming a light worker. When people say you need Thorazine, say, yes, I do. I accept I need Thorazine, but not today. Bye. Okay? Remember Abraham? Abraham said, yes, yeah. And you take their legs out of it because they have nothing to argue against. The minute you put up a defense, that invites attack.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Bingo.
Don't put the attack up. There we go.
First act of war, defense. Hi.
So I get a little bit walking in the water. I can go a little further now.
There you go. Go have fun. You have a question? Or are you just all happy?
Yeah.
You're like, it feels so good. Very good. Anything else, you guys? Excellent. So that's all we got. I'm going to bring Foxy Roxy back. If you care to donate, $5 in the back. Oh, you can donate more. God, I am funny. I am. All right, guys, I'll bring Roxy back. Love you. Take care now. Bye. Hey, guys. All right. Thank you so much. Round of applause. Woo. All right, out there. We'll get this up. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Odyssey of Ascension. Good night, all.